Welcome to the Crafty Boys, episode 164. Today's beer was chosen by yours truly. I picked a beer that sounded really cool because it had a label look like this. Warhead. It's an Imperial Kettle Sour.
Who makes it?
Who
I find your lack of
makes
knowledge
beer?
offensive. Disturbing.
The beer is made by one of our favorites.
Dead Frog? Is it Dead Frog?
It might be.
Shane?
I'm trying to find the. Oh, there. Oh, wait a minute. I'll use the cap.
Shane, you have failed me for the last time.
Whoa! Oh my God! I'm burning in the fires of hell.
All right. You know what?
No, it's just me
hot
in
in
the
this
elevator.
thing, so I'm taking it off.
It's really hot in there now. Welcome. So anyway, yes. Warhead by Dead Frog. I was trying to find the logo on the label, but it's really tiny. So I decided to use the cap. But anyway, it's Halloween, boys. I've had two trick-or-treaters today. Two 2-year-olds who
I thought you said you guys didn't get anybody in their building.
Well, we don't. But this year, the parents of small children, before they take them off to other climes, decided that they wanted. They actually contacted a whole bunch of people at the building saying, "Hey, if I bring you candy, will you give it to my kid?"
Oh.
So we did. So one was a 2-year-old Spider-Man, and the other was a 2-year-old dragon. No, not a dragon. A dinosaur. So it was a dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Okay.
He said Dragosaur at one point. I was like, really?
Dragosaur. Is that a dinosaur like wearing a dress?
Probably. He was very small and he looked like a dinosaur.
Okay. Cool.
You know. So I'm dressed up today as a member of the Jedi Academy. What about you guys? Did you dress up at all?
Well, actually, not during the day I didn't, but for here I dressed up as my Darth Vader and
Cool.
Answered the door, and I feel a little bit guilty, I have to say. The kids probably not watching, but there was a group of kids on our porch. Normally we take the screen door and we prop it open. We had forgotten to do that, and I can't see very well out of this thing. And I opened up the door, didn't see one of the kids standing off to the side. I kind of nailed him with it. Yeah, it was not a good scene.
Take that, small being who wants candy.
He was a bit older. He sounded like he was 12 or 13. I'm sure he could take it.
You got a trick. What could you do? Nothing. You just hit small children with parts of your house.
Yeah.
So, Dave, did you dress up at all?
I did not. Other than, dressing up.
Did you dress up like a London Drugs employee by any chance?
I did not. No.
Oh,
okay.
I
did not. No.
All right.
No.
Okay. I want to start drinking this.
Sounds good.
Warhead from Dead Frog.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
No, wait. Dave said he had a surprise. I want to know what the surprise is.
Oh, all right.
Yes. So, this will surprise nobody. I couldn't get it. So instead, I got this guy.
Oh, Black and Tan.
Tan from Wolf Brewing. Is that right?
Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf? Sweet.
No, sorry. It is Wolf. You're
Wolf. In Nanaimo, I believe.
Yes, I believe you're right, Alan. Now, I've wanted to do Wolf for a long time, but I've just never bothered because always that chain, you would basically be SOL. So I've never grabbed it or never suggested.
I think we've done Wolf before, haven't we?
I don't know. Have we? Shane? Consult.
Oh my God. I will consult the book.
Consult the Book of Armaments, chapters 2, verses 9 through 47.
Quite honestly, I don't know.
Doesn't really matter.
I'm bringing up the spreadsheet. Just hang on.
Okay, I'm going to pour.
You pour your beer. I am going to look up the thing.
Oh.
All right.
Now, while Shane's looking that up, I'm just going to say that I was reading up a little bit about the Warhead Imperial Kettle Sour from Dead Frog. And I love the description here. It's just so damn sour. An offensively sour brew. Offensively. It's so sour, it's offensive.
All right. Well, I'm using
with fruity flavors of lemon and blackberry hiding somewhere behind an impenetrable wall of pure sour joy. Seriously, this beer is ridiculously sour, and we challenge you to finish a pint without shedding a tear. Whether it's a tear of joy or in mourning of your taste buds, we salute you. That's fantastic.
All right, so I got my pour done. It's a very clear beer. I like it.
Same. Mine is not.
It does smell like a very sour beer. Now, by the way, we have done Wolf Brewing once before. Episode 132, we did their Scotch Ale back in whenever the hell that
their
episode
Scotch
was.
Ale?
Ale!
So on the Warhead, the first thing it kind of smells like, remember Fun Dip?
Whoa.
Yep.
You know, the candy comes in little, the powder comes in the little pouches, and you got the little candy stick that that's what it smells like. It smells like,
totally smells that way.
Fun Dip. It kind of tastes like Fun Dip as well.
It does a bit. It does totally. It's a perfect Halloween beer to me.
Now,
here's the thing. I haven't had any candy at all today or in the last couple of weeks. So
now I'm going to say I don't know how offensively sour this is. I think I have had beers that are more sour than this. In fact, the sourness kind of flavoring or feeling goes away pretty quickly after a sip. And then the only thing you're left with is sweetness.
Actually, that's true. That's true.
But it's like drinking Fun Dip.
I am kind of curious if this is.
I'm on the fence about whether that's a good thing.
It's like you could see them in the brewing house, like, all right, everyone. All right, okay. All right, everyone stand around the vat. All right. Open your Fun Dip. Put it in. Like, do you think that there was some sort of, plan? Because it seemed that it was not, I don't know, something that would be used normally. I don't know. I'm
thinking that Bob was checking the vats one day and had his Fun Dip in hand and just, whoops.
And then 700 pounds of it went in.
Okay, so there is a candy that you can get. It's a sour candy, and they're called Warheads.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if maybe they use those.
Well, that's kind of, it doesn't. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to turn on my light for a moment. Because I want to see if there's actually anything in here indicating anything like that. I mean, it's a blackberry beer. I mean, that's sort of the offensively fruity part, but for those about to drink. Yeah, I don't see anything. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's part of the mystique of the beer that we're unaware of. But at the same time, does it really matter? Because to me, it tastes like the candy. I'm trying to think of the last time I actually had a Warhead.
No.
By the way, the candy, the Sourhead Warhead. Oh my God. Warhead's sour candy is hashtag sour to the people. Well done.
Nice.
So yeah.
I get it. That's funny.
So I mean, it's kind of awesome. I gotta say this beer, not the candy, although the candy is completely fine. But this particular beer, I'm kind of enjoying because it is.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I don't know. It's not the best sour I've ever had.
No,
But it's certainly not the worst. And it's interesting flavor just on its own. So it's definitely worth a try.
now what is out of all of it, out of everything, what is the best sour you've had ever? Do you remember?
Gosh.
If I remember right, the Duchesse de Bourgogne is billed as a sour.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And that was pretty good.
I really enjoyed that. That's still one of my faves.
What was the one that we had at Beer Fest, Shane? Fruity Mother Pucker. Who made that?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty
quite
good.
honestly don't remember. Fruity Mother Pucker. Fruity Mother Pucker, Axe and Barrel Brewing.
Right.
Axe and Barrel is out of somewhere.
Yes.
Let me. Axe and Barrel. Axe and Barrel is out of. Oh, look at that! They're out of the West Shore.
Yes. It's where the Wheelhouse Pub used to be.
They're in Langford. That's where they are.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I can remember where that is.
Yeah.
Where Langford is?
Where the Wheelhouse Pub used to be.
That's right on
No.
Goldstream, I think, yeah?
I think so.
Yeah, it's on the way out to where the water slides were and Western Speedway.
Right.
So I'm interested to hear from Dave about his beer. Dave, tell us all about it.
Well, Alan, this is the Wolf Brewing.
Out to our man in the field, Dave. Tell us about the beer you're drinking, Dave.
Way the fuck out there in the field. This is Wolf Brewing's Black and Tan. And I got to say, I'm really digging the label. It's very cool, little bit of art.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a microboss on it. I'm assuming that's what they're referring to, but I don't know because I'm not that hip. But this, trying to read the label here. A blend of our porter and golden honey ale. Yes, this traditional British style allows us to create a medium-bodied dark ale that is very easy to drink, but with no compromise on flavor. So that's what they say about this one. And
how does it look in the glass?
It looks very porterish.
Right.
I mean, that's coming off a little darker maybe than it truly is, but and it's got a hell of a head on it. It's very much like the a standard Guinness.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it's got that same here. I'll try and generate a little bit more of a head on here.
So
See,
it's that creamy, eh?
It does, yeah, it does the same thing. It's not quite as
So like you couldn't like write your name in it.
Nope. Not doable. But it's very close, and it is oh, the lighting is just shit. So you can't tell, but it's the same color. It's that nice coffee color, which is cool. And actually, that's kind of the main flavor I'm getting out of this bad boy is kind of a coffee sensibility out of it.
Right.
I like it. It's nice.
That's good.
It does not tell us what the beer units is.
That's too bad.
I would imagine it would be
That's good.
low.
Very
That's
much too
good.
bad.
That's bad.
It is a 5.5%, so relatively light.
The Warhead here is a 9%, which I'm kind of shocked by.
Really?
It is. IBU rating of 12. That's expected. He uses Magnum hops. Magnum.
Magnum hops, TC hops. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Magnum,
Higgins.
TC, Higgins, and oh no,
Mm,
I can't remember. What's his name?
I was
Rick.
actually thinking
Rick.
like Blue Steel.
That was Rick.
Like Magnum
Rick.
hops,
Rick.
Blue Steel
Thank
hops.
you. It's Rick.
Rick. Okay.
Took me a while to. You guys realize, of course, that they've rebooted that just recently.
Yes.
I did notice. I'm not
I
sure
haven't
what I
watched
feel
it.
about that.
Yeah,
But-
I don't know either.
But again, it's cool.
Shane, are you on the Dead Frog website at all?
I am actually.
Is the Warhead unfiltered?
I don't think so. I think it's filtered, but I will take a look.
Because I'm detecting quite a bit of trub here at the bottom of my bottle.
A little bit.
I mean, either that or it's a severed
kind of
hand.
Trub
I can't
have you
tell.
got? Let's see. We have got their specialty beers, which is Warhead is one of them. An IBU of 12 international beer units. Check in.
Each bottle of Warhead
It does not say anything
features
about.
a
It's
severed
just the same
hand.
text that's on the bottle.
Well, there's definitely sediment at the bottom. So, I'm gonna say
small batch
that's
crafted,
unfiltered.
Fraser Valley, quality ingredients, no preservatives or pasteurization. So I suspect it's probably unfiltered. Yes.
Yeah.
Although it is surprisingly clear for an unfiltered beer.
That's because everything is settled to the bottom. I don't know if you can look at your bottle.
Let me look at the bottle. I don't see anything.
No.
But it is dark. I mean, there's probably something in there. I can't tell in my Halloween mode of
It
darkness.
must be a severed hand in mine. Sorry.
Most likely, because I mean that is when people buy beer, they expect to have severed hands, snakes, spiders, inside of their beer.
Reminds me of that episode of The Simpsons, which is actually my favorite episode of The Simpsons, where Homer and Barney go on a tour of the Duff Brewery tour. And there's the quality control guy who's removing beers from the line because they've got some sort of a defect in it. And Homer distracts the guy. Meanwhile, there's like Hitler's head in one bottle going past, syringes, a mouse, a nose.
Nice.
That is hilarious. Well, there is actually, just to make my curiosity there actually is a beer. It's apparently a thing where you drink beer.
Beer's a thing?
You drink beer with deep fried spiders.
Ew.
Apparently it's an Asian thing. And also, apparently, if you take a stout and you pour it and then mix it with ice cream, apparently the ice cream gives birth to spiders. So I don't know. I read that on the internet, and apparently therefore it must be true.
Oh, absolutely.
Because what else would anyone do with their lives? Anyway, in beer news, there actually is an article here that I wanted to touch. I want to touch it. Of course, I closed the tab looking up Dead Frog. Okay, here we go. All right, so. Here we go. There is an organization, WeWork, is now limiting the amount of beer that people can drink in a day. to only 4 glasses of beer. Now, essentially, we work. If you don't know what it is, essentially, it's like a shared office area where people can go and work at and things like that. So, co-working space is another way to phrase it. But essentially, these were very popular about 10 years ago, and they're still around. You can rent a desk or time at a desk, that kind of thing, if you want to work. Like me, for example, I work at home. Sometimes I would go elsewhere to work because, you don't want to be at home all the time. But essentially, they had this particular one, which is why I knew about it, is that they had a perk at the place where you could drink as much beer as you wanted. So, drinking beer and working are not two things that I think go together that well. So I'm a little curious why this was a thing. But now they've actually announced just recently, a couple of days ago, that they are now limiting the amount of beer that people can drink while they are in the facility, which is kind of silly. They shouldn't have done it at all.
No.
So
probably not. Probably a bad idea.
That's a bad idea. So that's the only thing I want to say. But have you guys used a co-working space at all? I mean, Dave, you kind of do.
Well,
it's kinda.
It's an office space in a shared office. So, yeah, kind of, sort of. Although I've got my own space. It is my office. So,
I do.
It is a shared building.
I go to an office every day, and I sit at a workstation every day, and there's other people around me. I kind of share an area with other people. We just all have the same employer and receive our paychecks at the same time, with the same signatures on them and all that. So it's more of a traditional kind of shared workplace.
Okay. So
sell some to your mother, man.
Okay, man. Give me some drugs, Dave. So moving on to the next story. Is Central City Brewing and Parallel 49 Brewing have released this thing called the what, Alan?
It is called the Alpine Adventure Pack, which is this year's essentially advent calendar. So this thing will have 24 beers, 12 from Parallel 49 and 12 from Central City Brewing. They're a little bit late this year on this. Usually it would already be announced, like 2-3 weeks ago and already be on sale. But it was just announced in the last 9 hours, apparently. The full details of the beers in the pack are being kept secret, which is what they normally do. But eager fans will find plenty of styles, from session ales to barrel-aged beers, sours, and everything in between. The only thing I can guarantee that you're going to see in this thing, and this just comes from experience, they do it every year, it will have the Thor's hammer in it.
Yeah, because I think we've always had the Parallel 49 Central City combo. I don't think we've actually had anything else. Have we actually had any, did we try anyone else's advent calendars?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
so,
actually, Phillips, I don't think, does one anymore. So this one is pretty much the only one that you can get.
Let's see. Advent 2018. Apparently not. They did one last year, the snow case.
Did they? Well, maybe they're
2017, announced on November 7th. So you never know. They might actually do it again. Doesn't look like. I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they might be trying it again this year. But of course, the Snowcase announcement has yet to hit, and their snowcasecalendar.com website is still talking about last year.
So
So
the question is, Shane, are we going to get the adventure pack this year and do our thing that we've done for the past 2 years?
duh.
Okay. Duh.
I already have my adventure pack.
What?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
It's right there. No, we totally have to. Because that's a thing. You know, we've done it 2 years in a row. We have to do it again. Dave, of course, won't do it because he's a wuss. But you know, we're into it. This just in, by the way, quite literally.
Handed to me.
This was just handed to me. But Iceland has run out of beer. Iceland is dry because U.S. troops visiting the country have drank all the beer in the country. Apparently.
What?
A brewery in Iceland was forced to send out emergency supplies to bars in the country's capital of Reykjavik after 7,000 U.S. NATO troops descended upon the city, causing a severe beer shortage. I initially thought this was a joke, but apparently not. According to local media, the city's bars appears to have wholly unprepared for the arrival of the military, not having stocked up on beer. They seem to have the Americans seem to have gone through all the beer in a 4-day stay in the capital of Reykjavik. Iceland news site Visjar, or I'm butchering that probably, reported that the soldiers opted for local beer over the ones that had been imported because they were very, very willing to sample different microbrews as well as popular standard lagers. According to the reports, it estimated that about 6,000 to 7,000 U.S. military personnel traveled to Reykjavik as part of the Trident 18 Juncture, a NATO-led exercise. Bars ran out very quickly, overwhelmed by the demand, and had to request emergency supplies.
Lindy too? I mean...
Wow, could you imagine like being at a bar and being like,
sorry,
who wants whiskey? No, I want beer. Ted, get down to the brewery down the road. I gotta get some extra beer. I don't know. What would happen if beer actually ran out? I mean, let's pretend for a moment, boys, that the universe, has ended. The universe, the world has ended. It's an apocalyptic landscape. Zombies, roving bands of zombie cannibalistic killers, and we have no beer. What the hell are we gonna do?
Well, I would put on a hockey mask and like leather. I'd find wherever somebody's hoarding some beer, just walk away.
I am Master Blaster. I want all the beer or everybody dies.
I actually don't know if that's what Master Blaster sounds like. It's been a long time.
I don't think so.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what I would do. I'd be lost. I wouldn't be. I don't know. But I'm feeling a little lost today, guys. I really am, because we all must raise a hand, whatever hand, and say goodbye to my television set that I've had since 2008.
Wow.
Made a loud clicking noise this morning and a very loud buzzing noise as well, and refused to turn on. I called my local guru of appliance repair and said, dude, the TV is making this noise. It won't turn on. And he laughed. He said, your plasma TV from 2008, they make only the power supply because that is one thing that goes. But for the other parts, the other things, we do not have access to those anymore. You could find them on eBay, but it's no guarantee that they will function. So therefore, if you wish to spend $200 to $300 on a power supply replacement that may not fix the problem, you should take your TV to the local recycler and deal with it appropriately. So I gather myself here today to say goodbye to my large television.
Are you going to be forced into a smaller television situation?
Hell no. I'm going bigger. Bigger.
I haven't gotten rid of it yet.
Beautiful.
It only broke this morning. It's over there. But
So Shane, you know what? It'd be worth it to do this. Open it up and have a look on the main board for any capacitors.
see that?
Yeah.
I opened it already.
Oh.
And then it bit me.
Was there any board capacitors?
No. I actually
none?
that was the first thing I did. Took the whole thing apart and looked at all the boards, and there's nothing bulging. There's no scorch marks, nothing.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Sometimes
one thing I did look up though is I did look it up where if the capacitors look okay, of course I'd have to test them if I really wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
But the most common part that seems to break on this side of the particular television is like a diode about yay big that you may or may not have. That's the crazy part, because apparently this television, you could look up the model number, but there are like 4 different versions of it. So in theory, I could look for this diode and maybe replace it. But at the same time, it's just about 11 years old, and it's plasma. So
you know what? The next TV you get, no matter what it is, no matter how much you spend on it, is only going to last 4 years.
That might be true. But the big caboodle is I've been looking at the top television sets that you could get this today, specifically ordered by Longevity. And at the very top is a brand that I had to look up because I had never heard of it before, called Vizio. They are sort of second place-ish for their, this is for 2008 editions of TVs. And the
2008 or 18?
Sorry, 2018. Followed by LG, and then followed by Sony, and then followed by everyone else. So,
you know why that is?
Why?
Vizio and LG are the only major manufacturers that still make their own television sets.
That does not surprise me, because the Vizio was founded in 2002 by some incredibly nerdy guy who I fell in love with. He did a bunch of basically he wanted to make his own TV set, and he did. He had money to do it, but LG. And here's the other thing too: is that this is sort of the way that my world has worked for 2018. Dishwasher dies in January, so I went and pillaged, raided Sears like a Viking, and found they had a bunch of
Give me your women.
Give me your women and your dishwashers. So I got a dishwasher for like $280 or something. It was highly rated. It was like, it had all the bells and whistles and all that kind of stuff for a basic washing machine or dishwasher. And so that was replaced. Then the dryer dies a couple of months ago. I opened that thing up like 3 times, and the only parts that I haven't replaced are the electronics and the motor, the actual full-on motor, because there's a switch on those motors that turn on the power for the heating element, but you can't take it off. It's built into the thing, so you have to replace the motor or the electronics, one of the two. The only 2 parts that I haven't looked at. So now the TV. So basically 2018 is replace everything. That'll last like 18 months, and I'll have to do it all again. So yeah, it's kind of a pain, but what can you do? So here's to my wonderful TV.
Cheers.
Although, one thing I will point out, the TV is only 720p, so it's time to go. It's time to go all the way to 4K, bitches. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Question for you guys.
Yes.
4K weirds me out. Does it weird you guys out?
Why?
How does it weird you out?
There's something about the picture.
I just see. Here's what I was thinking just right away. You know that ad from like I don't know what I can't remember if it was for the speakers or for the sound quality, Memorex or whatever. The guy in the chair with the thing.
Oh yeah.
I pictured Dave in
Is
a
that Mammoth
chair.
or Maxell? I think that was Maxell.
Whatever. But I picture you in like a big lounge chair sitting there. There's a big TV in front of you. It's got you're watching something in 4K, and you're sitting there, and then you're by yourself. It's late at night. You're just like, I just want to watch a bit of TV, then go to bed. And you're sitting there watching it, and then suddenly these hands come out of the TV and start slapping you. But it only happens when you're watching stuff in 4K. So you going
weirds me out.
4K
It is
weirds me out.
4K. It's 120 hertz.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
So like there's 60 hertz, which is what I prefer. That's sort of a more traditional kind of refresh rate. 120 hertz. The picture moves a little bit too quickly, if that makes sense. And it just doesn't look like regular television. It doesn't even look like a regular movie screen. Everything looks a little bit too realistic.
Maybe that's what I'm referring to, because that is exactly what I was thinking of.
Well, don't forget one
Yeah.
thing about that is that some of the lower end 4K TVs don't actually have 120 hertz on them. They actually upscale it, so it looks a little weird sometimes. I don't know if that really makes a difference for the human eyeball, but maybe it does. Maybe, I mean, remember when The Hobbit, the first Hobbit film, came out back in 2013, 14, whatever the hell it was. And they released it in theaters in two different formats. They released it in just the regular 32 or 28 or whatever the film refresh rate is.
24? Is that 24 frames?
24 frames. And then they released it all in 48 frames. So I went and saw it at that resolution because I think only the first movie did it. I don't think the rest of them did. Because I don't think it sold very well. I mean, it was kind of a thing they tried, but it didn't kind of work. But the thing I noticed right away is that it felt like I was watching a soap opera. And if you've ever been ill, had the flu, and you back in the day, and you turned on the television and there were soap operas playing, the soap operas are filmed in such a way where the lighting is, I don't know. I don't know if it's a stylistic thing or whether it's just my interpretation of what it looks like, but the lighting is so bright that, you know, it's not real. It's as you said, it's too realistic, but it's to the point where it doesn't feel realistic, where it's like watching stage actors, you know, doing a play, and then some idiot is up there with a camera, like right in their faces going, okay, get the shot. Because back in the day, a lot of the daytime soaps were shot live. They were not recorded and then played later. They were done at the time. So, but you had, you know, but that's what it felt like. The Hobbit felt like it was a daytime soap opera. And I don't know if I didn't mind it, but it was weird. It was like, for, you know, my entire history of watching film, you know, from birth to now, we're used to the original format. Even IMAX is not like that. IMAX is detailed, but not to the point where it feels almost unrealistic and you start diving into the uncanny valley kind of idea, right? So, but anyway, yeah.
I just want to point out something I was noticing about my my beer having a lot of sediment down at the bottom. So I've just poured the last of it.
Oh, it's pretty dirty.
Like a milkshake.
Mine does not have that at all.
Which is weird.
I'm actually. Did you shake yours before you poured it?
Here.
Who, me or Shane?
You.
No.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna blast my camera here because I wanted to show you what my bottle looks like.
Oh, yeah.
So do you see sediment in that bottle?
Oh yeah. No, not in yours, but in mine.
I don't know. Maybe I mean, quite honestly, maybe you got one of the last bottle runs and it had sediment in it. It's possible, I guess.
Maybe there was a severed hand in yours, Alan.
Yeah, really. Ground up dead spider.
That's creepy.
Ground up dead spider or the severed hand.
Well, whatever this is.
But overall, I mean, the reality is that we, just have a beer that is real. I don't know how to end that. Anyway,
it's not 48 frames.
Enough of this crap. Enough of the 48 frame bullshit. We're done.
Yes.
We are finished for the week, but that's okay because we'll be back next week, and you can follow us and all the doobly-doo things down below, and you can do all the stuff and all the fancy crap, and you worship us and stuff. Or actually, don't worship us, just worship Dave because he needs it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Bow down. What the hell was that?
On that note, bye.